Hi, my name is Alex. A month ago, I stumbled upon a shocking secret about my older brother Brian that left me in a moral dilemma. Brian, 35, is married to Julia, 32, and they have two kids. They're a close-knit family, and I often visited them. Last month, Julia invited me over for dinner while Brian was away on a business trip. During our chat, Julia mentioned that Brian had been acting distant lately, which worried her. Curious, I decided to look into it. I accessed Brian's work laptop and discovered he was having an affair with his business partner, Emily, who is also a friend of Julia's. The affair had been ongoing for over a year, with explicit messages and plans to run away together. I was shocked and unsure whether to intervene. I decided to monitor the situation, hoping Brian would come clean on his own. Over the next few weeks, I noticed Brian and Emily continuing their affair in secret. Brian would spend late nights away from home, and Emily started appearing at family events as if nothing was wrong. Julia remained oblivious, and the tension between Brian and Julia was palpable but unexplained. One evening I attended a family gathering at Julia's house. Brian and Emily were already there, mingling with Julia's family. The event was casual, but the dynamic between Brian and Emily was anything but. I observed Emily and Brian chatting in a corner. Emily placed her hand gently on Brian's arm, lingering in a way that suggested a private connection. Brian tensed but didn't pull away, instead glancing around nervously. Emily's confident smile and whispered comment made their closeness undeniable. Later, while we were all gathered in the living room, I saw Brian and Emily seated together on a sofa. Emily's hand subtly grazed Brian's back, and he leaned in, resting his arm on the back of the sofa behind her. Their proximity carried an undertone of familiarity that felt out of place at a family event. After witnessing this, I couldn't bear to see Julia in distress any longer. I reached out to Emily, confronting her about the affair. She admitted she knew I'd discovered their secret but was shockingly indifferent. "That's Brian's problem, not mine. He needs to deal with his own mess," she said. Her dismissive attitude infuriated me. I decided Julia had the right to know. That night I called her and revealed everything. Her reaction was a mix of shock, anger, and devastation. She thanked me for my honesty, but was overwhelmed by the truth. Later, I heard a loud banging on my door. It was Brian, furious and desperate. "How dare you? You had no right to tell Julia!" he shouted, his face red with anger and fists clenched. I stood firm. "Brian, you should have been honest from the start. Julia deserved to know the truth." Brian's rage escalated. He accused me of ruining his life and demanded I stay out of his affairs. "You've destroyed everything!" he yelled before storming out and slamming the door. The encounter left me shaken. I had hoped revealing the truth would bring clarity, but the aftermath was chaotic and painful. As I closed the door, I wondered what would come next for Julia, Brian, and me.